Alright, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another fantastic day of Overwatch. Today we have the University of Hartford Red versus the South Dakota Hardrockers. How are we doing today?
I'm doing incredibly well, Adam. Thank you for asking. I'm excited for another game of casting, another match by the University of Hartford. Going to be giving it their all. It's another Thursday, so obviously due to some conflicting schedules, we have slight issues with the roster that have been mulled over to an nth degree, but they've been all ironed out. We have a solid roster going to be coming at you live. Speaking of live, you can hit the stream in Discord so I can see what you're seeing. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out and chat. And I think we also have another person onboarding with us today. It's gonna be Space Caden Valorant Gaming,
I'm just here to exist, my friends. Thank you for having me.
of course. And we very much appreciate you continuing to exist within the stream, friendly casting and production team here at twitch.tv/Culver. Which yes, that is the time of day. It is time to pay the bills. So once again, if you're watching this over on YouTube at youtube.com/Culver, I believe. Thank you very much for your views and your patronage. Please sub down below, make the red button a little grayer. And then also check out the streams. Tuesdays and Thursdays is going to be twitch.tv/Culver. And we're going to be going live every single day, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 o'clock, for some spicy UHart video gaming. Thank you very much for your support, your bits, your shares, your donations. Even a shout out on Twitter, very, very helpful. So thank you very much for that.
You're cutting in and out, like, a lot more than normal.
More than normal. I will try and fix that on my end. Why don't you start off with calling out the names for today?
Absolutely. So, looking at the roster for UHart first, we have Super Vader locking the Zarya, and then Orimuru on the Sombra, Become Based Genji, Revan, Ana, and Blackout Lucio. And now, for our opposition of the Hardrockers, we have Archimedes on the Zarya, perhaps PSX. What sound does PSX make?
Sai?
Cyberry, perhaps, on the Symmetra. Off to a great start. Uh, Mr.
Murdoch?
Mr. OG.
Oh, those are OGs?
Mr. Ugg? I don't know. I see perhaps 2 zeros and a G. Mrog?
Call them Rog.
I'm gonna call him Mrog. Doubled on the Lucio and
Dr. Gan.
Dr. Gan? Dragon?
Oh, yeah, Dragon makes a lot more sense in this context. As it seems like Dr. Gan, as well as the rest of them, are going to be doing a very, very well job here of defending Lijiang for this first 14%. As we went over the names there, the Symmetra seems to be working out very solidly.
Absolutely. Hartford's gonna have to change their plan of attack if they want to, find the success they're looking for. They're really relying on the Sombra to find a hack on the backline, but you can see the Lucio bullets coming in constantly, just trying to scout him out, and they do just that. Now, perhaps can find a hack. Oh, he's getting forced out by the Symmetra, and quickly forced to teleport away.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting scouted out like that is very dangerous, especially when you have a lower number of people going into a fight. But it seems to be going well as Blackout and Super Vader find one apiece. Blackout, however, going down to Dr. Gan on the Moira. But point control seems to still solidly be in the hands of Hardrockers, but it's going to be going down rather quickly as they lose 2 more members. And then the wall coming out from spawn, however, that could be a difference maker if the TP goes up and they get a significant amount of reinforcements. Exactly what's happening right now. As the grab also comes out from Hardrockers, not able to defend their Genji. Super Vader is very, very low at this time, but finds the Nano, shows out his own Graviton Surge, and is going to be able to clean up these kills, hopefully. Every single member in that grab getting incredibly low. The beat coming out on the side of University of Hartford. It seems like they're going to be able to clean this up here, but how fast is going to determine how much time they're going to have to defend this point for against an opposing Hardrocker team who still manages to find one here. Ooh, and that's... yeah, late kills, they get all the way up to 92, maybe 93%, and actually it's going to keep on going. This is going to be a 99% hold here. Hopefully UHart is able to stop and stem the bleeding here, but it's looking a little tough as they do manage to finish off those last 2. Junkrat's still there, but that's going to be a flip for University of Hartford for the first time holding the point all round so far.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic stall by the Hardrockers. You saw it got to a point where the University of Hartford thought, like, all right, we've won the fight. Time to, you know, start saving our ultimates, taking our time. We'll wrap this fight up, and then we'll be set for the next attack. But the Hardrockers, they invested ultimates, and they got at least 50% extra out of this control. A big EMP blade coming out. Oh,
Well,
from the
definitely an
University of
EMP, but
Hartford.
the blade looking a little flaccid.
Oh, and he just got really gunned down by the Hardrockers there.
Absolutely cooked. This is a very tough position to be in. They're down
They have
3.
the grab.
Zarya was in the background the entire time. Another grab
It's
from
a big
Supervader,
grab.
however.
He only gets one. They got brought so low.
Oh no, and they're definitely going to have to contest here. Obviously, with the new change to how point works, it's going to be an immediate cap as Become Base looks for the overtime to jump in. But sadly, it's no longer working like that. Keep that in mind for your ranked games out there. And that's going to be University of Hartford going down. This is the second time this week so far that we've seen them lose a control map. Hopefully they're able to bring it back like they did on Tuesday.
Now, I have a question for you.
Oh shoot, I have an answer.
I was playing a game of Control in a ranked game earlier today, and it went into overtime when a team flipped Control.
See, what we call that in the business is linguini code. It's not as, you know, derelict and easily breakable as spaghetti code. Linguini code's a little bit stronger, but is still very much a pasta in base. And that's kind of what Overwatch 2 is built on. And hopefully the fights are going to look a little bit more strong than Linguini that the code is based off of, as University of Hartford doesn't make it to point first here. And Symmetra is going to be employed once again by the Hardrockers, just to give them that advantage on getting to point quickly.
You see Orimuru who are here on the Sombra, just invisible right now, trying to scout for his team, but honestly, he's not really getting any value. He's just standing here, maybe communicating with his team, something, trying to figure out a plan, but like, he has done 0 damage, and just waiting for this respawn is kind of really low value.
What I like to call this is the Nat Geo Sombra. You're just kind of watching, you know, making sure you got your eyes on your targets and going in for the kills when you absolutely need them to. You got to get those shots. Nat Geo photographers work incredibly hard. That's going to be traded out immediately for Supervader as another trade, however, coming back, putting University of Hartford in a positive position right now with Cyberry going down. That Symmetra doing a lot of damage in previous fights. That Junkrat incredibly low. Is Genji going to be able to finish off that kill or somebody else? Genji does find it, but not without a trade to the Sombra. University of Hartford technically up, but in a very perilous position as they have really entrenched on this point right now.
And this is really a sloppy situation for the University of Hartford.
Yeah, this is incredibly sloppy pay.
Become-based Supervader doing everything they can, working together, trying to find these kills. I believe it's just the Zarya that remains.
Well, one coming back on coast. They might be able to stall it out a little bit longer. Yeah, that is the Junkrat going on coast.
Junkrat touches.
Yeah.
Now the Lucio stalls just for a little while longer, but that is going to wrap up this fight. Only 60% for their Hardrockers. Not quite the same dominant stall we saw on Lijiang Gardens, but it's still very significant after realistically only one fight.
Yeah, those fight finishing kills coming in a little bit quicker, which is good to see, but that Symmetra teleporter
And they
is
just
going
get
to break
completely.
his neck.
They just
wow.
And they flipped the point. They had no idea. Like when you know, when you realize that they have a Sombra on their team, you need to be expecting that they're just going to run this TP. You have to be able to be prepared to jump and hit them early before they can take this teleporter, or play on point in a position where you can react to their teleporter attempt. Now,
yeah, instead of letting them flip and getting free, almost 20% here. Even though it seems like they're going to be winning the fight, Lucio does still go down, but University of Hartford should be flipping here. But once again, it's going to be a matter of when.
This is still losable.
Wow.
This is quite losable. Is
Quite
this
losable.
just
It looks like it's only
a 1v2 for the Winston? The EMP,
the EMP
comes
comes
out,
through.
but he gets taken out. Now
Oh, he
Lucio and Winston here together. They find the kills. Just Symmetra and I believe Moira perhaps.
Well, the Moira's
remain,
got the call.
nothing the Winston could do there. Nano comes out onto become based on the Genji. But
And
I'm
Revan
not
doing everything they can to keep him up.
I'm not sure really what they can even do to flip this back. They have the grab, they have the Riptire, and that's going to be it. The Hardrockers take map number 1.
That was a little brutal to watch. A lot of things went right for the Hardrockers there, largely when it came to just the deficit of play between their whole game plan going into the matches, as compared to University of Hartford's. I don't know whether or not it's a slight scouting issue or whether or not it's a new play, but this is kind of one of the oldest ones in the book, really. The Symmetra plays on Lijiang are kind of universally known, well acquainted with, and are easily and readily defeated once, a little forethought is put through. However, potentially a little bit of stress or the speed at which the enemy team was playing kind of left University of Hartford kind of just spinning their tires there, not really being able to grab any grip. And that's going to be rough for the rest of the flow of this game. That was brutal.
I couldn't agree more. That was really hard to watch at points. I think the biggest issue I would say that the University of Hartford faced was just maybe poor target focus. Like they took a long time between every single thing they did, and when they did something, it felt all over the place. Like you noticed with one of the earliest points where they seemed to find success was when Ori Morio got that hack the same time that the Winston jumped onto the Baptiste. That was a great play, but that was one of the only good coordinated moments I saw. And then after they got that pick, they kind of just fell apart. They were like, all right, like my best guess is they were like, all right, we got the kill on the BAP. Like they have no healing, we won. But that's not the end of the game. You need
Yeah.
to clean fights up much faster.
Yeah, and to play a little bit of inside baseball, we got to listen to comms earlier today, and as I was discussing when it came to the whole rostering, people have classes. There's a problem, a B problem, a C problem that pops up, and when it comes to playing a roster that's relatively fresh, not only to playing competitively but playing cooperatively as well, oftentimes what happens is there's a problem of overthinking. You come up with a plan that you really, really want to execute, and when that plan doesn't follow through the exact way you thought, you're kind of just scrambling for an answer and looking to try and clean up in a way that you weren't really accustomed or ready to. You need to make sure that your steps have multiple plans, they have phases to them, and they also have contingencies typically kept in the back of the mind of individual players. But as an organization, as a team, you have to work through what you want to do after you get that one pick. Also, what you should do when you don't get that first pick. How are you going to look for the next one? And that was definitely a large problem that I saw within University of Hartford in this first map on Lijiang. That was pretty tough. Like you said, just not a lot of follow through, and the cleaning up was abysmal. But hate to see the dorm rooms on these guys.